recording. That's why you'll always get people will always go for film over fucking shitty digital video. Like that's why you'll always go for like the analog.
Well, that's it. If anyone's interested in sound, there's Dave Grohl. After doing a couple of documentaries, then we did one called Sound City, which was about where a lot of bands recorded, and it was like this shitty fucking studio. But they had this thing. Your man, that when he set it up originally, he was like, they got this mixing desk that cost a fortune at the time. But because of that mixing desk, it was the sound quality of things. I think there was only a couple of them made, but it was like fucking a military kind of like setup kind of like thing from Russia. But that analog sound to it, you couldn't replicate it now. So he ended up actually buying it kind of like for a fortune. But these things there's a reason why bands want to record this. What was the other one that we're looking at? It was about, I can't remember the actual studio. It was the one with your man. He ended up producing Nirvana. Big. Oh God, or Butch Vig. I can't remember what he's saying. But it was Smart Studio, I think it was. But they kind of like hit gold just because they had what kind of like appeared to be a shitty setup. But it was for some reason, whatever way that was in the room, and like the old analog gear that they had, it created this really warm sound. Like if you listen to Nirvana, Nevermind, and compare that album, say, I suppose, to one of the Foo Fighters albums now, because it'd be close with Dave Grohl playing on it, you will notice a big difference in the sound quality. It does, sound quality does.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, I mean, there's a band that I love, Cathedral, and one of the things that made me want to go off and buy a vinyl player again was I had one of their EPs called Soul Sacrifice years ago. And just listen to that song on CD or MP3, and I was like, this isn't. It was just, in my head, I said, had all the kind of like little kind of scratches and the kind of like, not scratches, but the kind of.
I know, the little blips.
The things, and the sound of the needle. And then when I got it, it was like, oh my God, this is that song. And it is, there's a lot to vinyl.
It's a lot of warmth.
Listen to any of the old, because people are doing vinyl rips on YouTube the whole time, but you listen to any of the old blues stuff, like it wasn't recorded great. They recorded on cheap because it was people nearly like, at the time it was like B movies kind of approach to a lot of blues stuff, whereas people trying to make a quick buck off things. It was like, yeah, we'll just record this and get the recording over and done with, write your songs, come in, record it in a day, fuck off. But the quality to it, it captured everything, and background noise as well. And it added to it.
It is. I mean, that's why, I mean, for like the likes of films and stuff like that, you never have like dead air or anything like that. If there's silence in a film, you always have ambient noise. If you've ever noticed that, if there's any silence, you know, people are not speaking and all the rest, you'll actually have somebody, a sound guy, will actually just go and record ambient noise in a room, because you have to have some sort of room noise, something going on in the background, and that's what you have with LPs.
Well, that's what differentiates shitty films as well, or not shitty films, but badly produced films. People that are kind of like amateurs with it, because they record the voices, or they might go off and record the voices
in a studio or something like that. Why does it sound so unnatural? That's it, yeah.
Well, what really drives me cracked is because it's, you don't notice it often, but especially when they've done it either digitally and it kind of the digital mic wasn't great, so while they're talking, you can hear a little bit of background noise. You can hear them talking. They may even have a little bit of music, but you can still hear them and the background noise. And as soon as they go, instead of just the background noise, it goes to pure silence, as in like nothing, like not even a drop of a pin. And then you can hear kind of clicking back in and out, and it just that drives me cracked.
Yeah, that's it. You can't have just like total dead air. You have to have some sort of ambient noise, and that's what you were saying. You get that with LPs. You just get that expansiveness, that little bit of warmth, and that little bit of sort of feeling of space and all the rest. And that's what you need. That's what's lost with a lot of digital sound nowadays. Well, that's my tuppence worth, because I know so much about sound, she says.
You should do, since you studied it in university.
Fucking 20 odd years ago. Yeah, everything's changed
probably
since then.
More kind of.
Shut up! I'm not that old.
Investigating sound for, running over that child dressed like a dinosaur.
Exactly. There you go.
Well, yeah, I suppose
I didn't do it. Sound did it.
I didn't do it. You're like the Bart Simpson of serial killing.
Yes. Wasn't me, man.
El Barto. Or El Farto.
El Farto. Yeah.
Actually, that was something that we didn't talk about actually on when we were doing on one of the things about best soundtracks.
Simpsons,
yeah. The Bart Man.
Do the Bartman.
Mm.
Do 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 do.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I suppose we should kind of say, in case we don't get into it too much, of the thing, on the regular podcast when we're doing some of the stuff as well, if you hear the music, if we play music, it's because we've actually went off, we've asked the artist beforehand if we can play. We're not going to play anything. Whereas it'd be really nice to kind of like, if we're talking about like a band like Sepultura or something like that, but like Sepultura aren't going to get back to us. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, play a couple of snippets, you know. Right, like, but at the same point, I wouldn't like to do it because it's illegal.
No, it's not. You can use a snippet if it's like, if you're calling it out in fair play. You can.
But that's only in America, fair play. This is why it doesn't kind of like work with podcasts, because podcasts are a global thing. So fair play is like an American thing that's set up in America. But
I think it works for critique and whatnot, criticism. But
that's only in America.
It works everywhere.
Doesn't. I looked into it.
When has this changed?
You look into it and see, can you play audio kind of clip on podcasts?
You can't, if it's under a certain length, you can't play a whole fucking track.
That's a myth. That's one of the things that they always come up and say, kind of like, it's a myth. People are saying, if it's under 5 seconds or it's under 15 seconds, complete and utter myth. If you're playing someone's music, it's a copyright infringement. Unless it's your music where you have written consent.
We were wrong. If you don't,
things have changed clearly in the past couple of years.
Yeah, it has. There's been changes in the laws.
Since when then?
So unless you have kind of like, clear consent or a license to do it, that's why I kind of like say with likes of kind of like, if you had a podcast on Spotify or something like that you could get away with, because they can clear all those things, because they have like those kind of, because it's not the same as a radio license or anything like that. You could do it on YouTube, because it would fall under fair use on YouTube, because YouTube is an American company. But because podcasts aren't, the platform doesn't own your podcast like the way that if you're hosting something on YouTube. But anyway, that's beside the point. But yeah, kind of like anytime you do hear music, it is because we're after actually going off and saying to kind of the artist, asking prior, and like, and say like with Grin, we went off and saying, hey, look, we actually want to talk about your thing. And as well, we're not going to do kind of, anytime we talk about a new band, it's going to be kind of like recommending a band. People that we went off and so, and that
it's not going to be like, hey, this band is shit, listen to them.
No, but other people do. Other people make fucking livings kind of like doing that, or kind of like they base a podcast or something like that around shitting on people. And it's like, if someone's after going out of their way, no matter what you think of it, if they're being creative, I've always been like that with movies. I always say it's easy to rip the piss out of a movie and say how bad it is. But it's like, someone got up off their arse.
Exactly. You go and make a film.
Yeah, go and make a fucking film. So it's the same with music. It's very easy to criticize someone, but yeah, it's like someone went out and made the effort, and someone's going to like it somewhere. Mm-hmm. So, I'm not really in the business of shitting on people for creating things.
Yeah, you are. That's all you do.
Yeah, but not on the air. But yeah, thanks for listening. If people listen to this way through, like I was saying, we'll have like the occasional. We don't know how often we're going to have these kind of like off the cuff ones. But yeah, stay tuned
for more bullshit.
For the show, yeah. And if you want to get in contact with us, I don't know what. That presumably a Facebook page and stuff we have up at this stage, and an Instagram account or something like that. You can message us through that if you have any suggestions other than kill yourselves.
Power of love.
I'm sure we'll probably listen to it. So until the next time. Bye-bye.